today we're going to present the app that we were working these last 3 weeks. So for this, I want to that you have to imagine that you are a software developer, okay? That you are currently working in your app, and suddenly a group of investors come and they want to make a face-to-face presentation about your app in his office of Oslo, eh? Oslo, Herba, Oslo. Okay, so so okay, so obviously you have to go there in the next week. Okay, so what's up that you have to plan all the trip. Okay, and the thing is that you don't have time because, as we said, you are so busy. You have a lot of a lot of work. You have to finish the little details. So for this, it's when it becomes the big issue. Okay, that because planning a trip is not only about timing consuming, that it's one important fact, but also it's like you can feel overload about all the massive quantity of info that you can see in websites. Also, I don't know, you can feel like a lack of personality, okay? Because a lot of websites, what they have is like a kind of recommendations that maybe they don't are not aligned to your preferences, okay? Also, it's difficult to manage like the stuff to the all the components that a trip need. Like it could be activities, restaurants, I don't know, stuff like this, okay? So here is when our app comes and solves your life, okay? Because our app what do is like seeks to address these pain points, okay? By offering like a simplified and a very personalized platform that what do is like allows the users to manage all the schedule of his plan in one single place. And also what do is well is based on their specific preferences, and also saving time and reducing the stress of all the work. Okay, so now my team partner Herba is going to show some stuff.
As Albert said, it's a specific situation where we actually build this website for specific situations. So that's why I'm going to need your 2 seconds. Everybody should close their eyes. Yeah, everybody close their eyes. So here's the moment. You got home, you're stressed out from work, you just delivered a presentation, and then what happens? Your boss tells you that you have to travel tomorrow and you have to give the presentation to the investors in Oslo. And you open your eyes, and what you got? You got hey. You got hey. Okay, let's just for now sign out first. So basically, what does okay? You don't have any time. You want to plan something. It's super hard to go through all the websites. Okay, so here's the thing. You got home, and suddenly you receive a message you're going to have to fly out to Oslo to give a presentation. And not only you have to give a presentation, but you have to prepare yourself for the trip. Like you want to see something, but there's like work and there's like planning a trip. So let's start the journey. Yeah. So this is how it goes. This is super nice, easy flow website. Basically, very intuitive. You don't have to. There's not a lot of stuff around flying. Very intuitive. But we just can nicely and easily enter our location and how many days are we going. So we're going to Oslo. We're going to be there 3 days. So let's see what can we have. So as it is, this is connected actually to OpenAI Chat API. So basically, from some of the stuff it takes a little bit load, but for this one that we have pre-saved, it's getting super nice and easy. So some of the stuff of this feature of this app are pre-saved, and it gives us really fast speed of looking for a trip. What we can see on our side is it gives us everything. It gives us the map. It gives us on the left side 3-day itinerary, which basically completely plans the 3 days for us. As you can see on the left side, our 3-day itinerary, we have breakfast. It gives us the time, like, okay, maybe too early for somebody, but it still works, no? We have some other stuff, not only lunch and breakfast, but some stuff that API AI chose us to see. And also we have a day 2. We also have a late dinners. It's also pretty good. And really nice laid out. Oh, this is a really good coffee shop, guys. Definitely check it out. So yeah, lovely place to see and check. What would you like to like an explore on, in the city? So on the other right side, we have all these nice how do I say pins? Oops. Nice pins so we can see the details of the city. The map is not overcrowded with too many icons. It's super nice, straight to the point, what we want to see in the city. We can also zoom in, and it gives us just like a nice overview of what we're going to do in the city. So, okay, so we're going to be 3 days in Oslo. Is there something, guys, you don't like or you like? For example, let's say maybe that dinner is not really one of my stuff, going to restaurant egg. So in that case, we can actually double check what's that. And it gives us, okay, it's kind of a nice little info what it is. It gives us a description and a photo and also the rating on the side. So we can actually see what is going on. Not only that, but a good, cool part about this is that actually if we click on this card, it will take us directly to the Google Maps location of that restaurant. So we can actually even see more stuff what we have here. 4.5 stars. I don't know. That's too low for me. I don't know about you guys. I mean, we have to have some style. We go to Oslo. So we can already see whatever is here. Seems okay, but still not really my type thing. So what we can do, we can just change it. And with this, we send a request and we should get a Oslo Fjord cruise, which is way better, I think. So after the city hall, it's at 6, we have to go straight to Oslo Fjord cruise, and it gives us a nice little activity instead of having a dinner and eating all day. Not only that, this map is very intuitive and straightforward. We don't have a lot of stuff that actually occupies and clouds our itinerary. What I want to show you now is that if we go back and we can sign in with our amazing Google Auth that we implemented for, I'll take this one. I decided to call myself a Fuzzy. So, well, Fuzzy did his research, and even though we can save our research, we can go back. Let's say I have Oslo 3 days. We can also go to somewhere else. Do you guys have any idea where do you want to go? Montreal. Okay. So we have some. The boss calls us again and says, "Hey, you have a week off. Where do you want to go?" I have a friend in Montreal. I want to go there. So, Montreal, and we have to say like 2 days, 3 days, 23 days. All right, so this is where the AI is doing its thing. We have this nice loading page that kind of cuts the time. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, as you can see, the app is planning a trip for us while we sip our coffee or lemonade, and soon it should be done. Okay, so here we go with the Montreal. We're going through the Africa first as the first portal, and it's going to land us in Montreal. So, guys, there you go. Is this the Montreal? I think it is. And what we got? We got activities. Look at this. Craig, do you know any of this stuff?
Yeah, Unique is a classic diner that everyone visit.
Okay. So Craig is recommending Beauty Salon Chernette. It's a classic diner, and we should come there and for a there. It's a Craig's sentimental place. So yeah, this is what we can check. Yeah, seems good. Seems good. Like all the stuff that is here. Botanical garden. Oh yeah, definitely, guys. You know, everybody who loves green. Nice picture. Anyways, what I want to show here is that we can actually save our plan, and it's going to give us a nice thing to press OK. With that thing, we can go to profile. And of course, I want to go to Munich, so I also search for the Munich stuff. But also, we have this Montreal. What I wanted to show you that, like, as you can see, we have museums here. Is the one thing that you can actually specify your detailed plan, and you can see we have museum here. We have some other national museums here. So it's kind of a preference that we can do, and that can take us mostly onto the museums. And what I want to say, let's say this Marienplatz is something that when it happens like this, we can easily click on it and check on the Google as well. If there's no extra info, we can see that it's Marienplatz here, and we can just get a nice info. And that's pretty much about that. We can also definitely change that because we don't want to be on a Platz. We can do something else. And after 5 p.m. straight to House. All right, doesn't give us anything. Maybe we can change it. All right, here we go. And then we can just update our plan, save it. Yes, we want to update our plan, and that's it. This is how we plan the trip. One of the nice features of the website. All right, now we can go straight next to the technical details, which will take over Victor or Georgia.
Okay, guys, so that is kind of our summary of Voyago AI. So it is essentially built for people that either have no time or don't want to put the effort into planning a trip, but still want to have an amazing trip and visit kind of the top rated sites or destinations or restaurants. I'm going to talk briefly about kind of what went well, what didn't go well, and then Victor's going to cover the technical side of things. So pain points, we kind of focused in on information overload, which I'm sure everyone on this bootcamp is living through at the moment. There is just too much information everywhere you look. It's time consuming as well. So learning, this is the first time all of us have done something using Next.js. So learning a new framework is difficult in itself, on top of then trying to build an entire website with it. Decision fatigue, I think on some days we probably took a bit too long to make a decision because we were so tired from everything we'd already done. And then management difficulty, being that time management of decisions, etc. But I think we came out of it pretty well. We came out with a deployed website that actually works. So the way that we tackled that was we tried to streamline information as much as we could, very much with Arrol's help, but utilizing Linear and the tools that we have was just making a plan and trying our hardest to stick to it. Linear also helped with the efficient planning of the project, so making sure that everything ties in, assigning tasks to one another to make sure that we know what everyone's working on and how they're doing. Intuitive decision making, obviously sometimes we had to use our best judgment to make a decision on how to proceed with the project. And unified management. As a team, we discussed things, we discussed the pros and cons of any decisions we were making, and we decided on a route together so that everyone was kind of happy with the decision. Obviously, not everyone is going to be thrilled, and it's not going to be exactly what you wanted in the first place all the time. But I think as a team, we worked through it quite well. Now I'm going to pass over to Victor, who's going to go through the technical side of things.
Okay, regarding the technologies we use, we actually use quite a few. Most of them were new to us. That's what the information overload that we had. So I'm just going to mention like what we use them for, and then maybe a special mention for some of them. So we use Next.js as the main framework. That's a shout out to Next.js because it, for example, it makes routing very easy. Especially that stuff you have everything like the API and the actual front end all in the same folder, so it's pretty useful and easy to use. React for the front end, obviously, to have interactive website. TypeScript, a big shout out to TypeScript. TypeScript is like a big help. Like it allows you to create types and all that stuff, and that prevents a lot of errors that, for example, JavaScript doesn't. Then GitHub for the control management of versions and branches and stuff. So it's really, really, really helpful. It gave us a bit of problems, but we can all agree it's very, very helpful and useful. Tailwind CSS for the styling, and Unsplash for the loading, like for the API where we got some of the images. It's a really, really good API. And then next Auth, and that little star you see below, like Google Auth. That's like we use that those for authentication and authorization. Like they were next Auth, like really helped the process of authentication and authorization. That is actually very complex. So that made it pretty straightforward. So a big shout out to Nextdoor and Vercel for deployment, that it also make it really fast. Like we deployed it very fast. And it also has a cool feature that you can control in GitHub. If the push you are making is going to create a conflict on the deployed version. Then Prisma and Postgres for database, Google Maps for the actual part of the maps. Docker that is actually quite useful because you can, for example, use Postgres even if you don't have it installed in your computer. And then OpenAI, ChatGPT. Like for the actual AI of the website is taken care of by ChatGPT. And it's like very helpful. You gotta be careful with what you say to him. Like you gotta be very precise, but it's very useful and it worked well.
So I know that we were asked to give 3 lessons learned, but we've put 5 on there and hope that Errol can't count. So the first thing is commit your changes to the correct Git branch. Don't commit them to main. People will have meltdowns. Herva.
Who's Herba? I'm Herbo, yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, make sure you're pushing to the correct branch, because otherwise you end up with conflicts and having to rebase and all sorts of stuff. So you lose a lot of time to get errors, but I guess the better you get at managing them, the quicker you get. Communication is key amongst the team. So make sure you're keeping each other up to date. If you're struggling with something, reach out to the rest of the team and see if they can help. There's always a Victor-shaped genius in every team. So who comes in and just goes, yeah, you just need to do this, this, and this. There you go. Now it works. Code structure, and this is something that I think we're working on tomorrow, is we haven't utilized the folder structure that Next.js offers to the best of our ability. And we have some pages where there is a lot of code in it where we could have broken it down and made things easier to track and easier to keep on top of. So that's something that we'll work on. The daily stand-ups are really instrumental. They help you understand where you are, where you need to be by the end of the week, and helps you kind of keep on top of what everyone else is doing as well as what you're doing yourself. And expected and unexpected bugs will come up. It's inevitable. Doesn't matter how well you plan your project or how well you think you've written your code, something will go wrong. Make sure you've got enough time to deal with them.
This is it, yeah, guys?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everybody who came. Okay, we're open for questions, anyone. So the question that is that Don asked is about the time formats and how we're handling that, because sometimes we have these different formats of PM, AM, and also the ones that are 24 hours set. Well, basically, this is all information that is coming from ChatGPT. So basically, it's coming as you actually ask the ChatGPT. And this is one of the pain points we were tackling, is that whatever you put in a prompt, sometimes you will not get the exact format that you want. So we kind of put a guard clause, and we instead of getting errors and having our page not working because the format is not right, it can break your app. We decided to have our own function parse. So basically, we would get whatever, but if we have some sort of minor details that are not in the format, at least we can make the work app not break. So we would receive the informations, maybe not in the right format, but we can actually display them. And sometimes you will see that maybe in some other, let's say, some other stuff, there's like activity time, you see. So this is actually things that can break your app, because it's not going to be in a right JSON format where you can like display it or parse it, and it's going to break your app. So in a way to mitigate that, we implement our parse function and just tweak the prompt that we're going to at least always get at least a good answer. Right? No worries. So Craig is asking what is going under the hood. And to repeat Ruben's question before, is that why we haven't made a specific request, because that we have always the same answer. From the GPT, my response was that sometimes chat can hallucinate. It will give you some minor.
Yeah, we do have a very specific prompt, but that's the best we could get out of it. Like maybe if we had more time and we could test way more, we would get a better one. But that was the best we could get.
Yeah. So for Craig's questions about how the ChatGPT works in the under the hood, it's normal API that you actually send a request. And as you can see here.
Like the thing about ChatGPT is that the normal requests to normal APIs normally give you objects or arrays and stuff, but ChatGPT responds in text version. Like it responds a string. So what you have to do is what Herbal already said. Like we implemented a format where we could ask him to give us a certain response in a certain way, so we could parse it and transform it into an object that we could use code-wise.
Yeah, basically, you're sending strings and getting strings, and then. So this is the way we would send it, and then this is where the magic happens. Yeah. So Craig's asking, how did we figure that out? No. How much testing we did? Okay. Well, the whole testing was going through the time when we were building our app, and then step by step we were figuring where the app is failing, and then we realized, okay, it's always giving us the same thing. The bug is breaking the app on this point where we're getting the prompt back, but we cannot. How do you say? We cannot parse it. And then we came to the solution to actually make a parse function. Okay, so I think here's somewhere. So this is actually the prompt that we were sending, you see. Like we were trying to make it like this, so when it goes to the parse, we would actually make it our own parse. But I think our parse function is here. There you go. So basically we were splitting the string our own way. So the testing, yeah, that when we implemented the OpenAI API, it took us 2-3 days actually to see this is failing all the time. It's too much. Let's do something about it. Anyone else with a question? So Craig is asking a question for Georgia, but also probably for all of us. When and how did you face an example of a hard group decision? If you can give us some example, Georgia.
I think initially it was actually choosing the project. Like we were back and forth between 2 projects for quite a while because there was arguments for each.
So Aro is saying that this is usually one of the hardest decisions, and asking how did we handle that?
We compared the pros and cons of both projects. So we basically planned out both projects as if we were going to try and build them. And it was only once we'd done that I think we all very quickly agreed that actually this had more potential to run with than the other one that we had looked at. But it was kind of thought out and a discussion.
I don't have it here. So yeah, also we were doing like this Figma jams. That is pretty cool when you try to plan. Unfortunately, I don't have the picture, or I thought I sent it to Georgia. But it was like it's really good to actually spend the whole day planning it and see what someone prefers. Also discussing about where do you actually want to work with. We actually we made a decision and next day started it. And when we were going through a process of really laying down the user stories, how we want to build the app, we actually figured it out. Actually, there's not a lot of value in this building it. Like we decided first off making a 21-day habit builder. So it actually kind of also AI's if you type I want to learn how to play the guitar, it kind of lays a plan. We realized like, yeah, we could do it, but this travel app actually sounds way better, like everybody could more connect building this stuff. Everybody would be like have more energy and try to figure how things out. With the habit was like, yeah, it's good, but it's not, it's the passion doesn't lie there. So this is like the way we mitigate it. So make sure you guys plan and don't be afraid if you choose bad, because you have to make a decision to know actually if you like it in the end or not. So yeah, Otto said we were half day into the project and then we rolled back, and that's true.
Yeah.
Because
Building
that
the
half
user
day,
stories helped a lot.
because you can have an idea like, oh, this app can do this, but then when you really try to lay things down, how you want to have user story, user experience, how is going to go the app, how is going to lead. Also, you have to make you have to consider you don't have a lot of time. So Don is asking a question: if we had a situation where one of the team members were moving faster than the others, and how did we handle that? One of the things that is really cool about the group project is that it's mob programming. So at first we all started together, like just to everybody has a clean start of how we're doing, because we were implementing Next.js, so nobody was dealing with this before. But after that we separate, and then if there was some sort of that somebody wouldn't know what the other team implemented, we would catch up on the stand-up and just do a little presentation, like 5 minutes. Hey, this is how I implemented this. This is how we did this. And that usually helped. Somebody who's being really back, we didn't experience that. We just had a nice workflow in this group project. Yeah, Arrow saying that more programming is a double-edged sword. It can also help, but also can kind of stall the project. That happened to us in the beginning. We were like going very slow because it's like a group of us. So in that case, my advice would be like everyone has at least a good understanding what's going on, and that's pretty good on stand-ups, and then basically separate and try to be what we actually had. I know I'm talking a lot, but what we actually had is FOMO. And that's like, for example, everybody wanted to do Google Auth because it's a bit complicated, and everybody wanted to learn that. But then it's like, hey, the other stuff we have to do. We had like 20 different stuff on our backlogs we have to do. But I was like, okay, let's just all do this and then separate. And then this is where we like try to implement it all together. We run into some bugs, but then decision has to be made. Guys, we have to do a progress because we don't have anything from the app. So yeah, try to balance it. That's why stand-ups are pretty good. And yeah,
I think very much what Heather has said, but I think even when someone had more knowledge on a topic than others, we tended to then get together and try and learn from that person rather than resent that they were further ahead than us. Ultimately, you're in probably one of the best learning environments you will ever be in, because no one's afraid to go, I don't understand that. Talk to me about how you've done that, because we're all learning at the moment. So I think that's probably the easiest way to overcome it, is just see it as a team effort rather than someone's charging ahead.
Hey guys, do you have any questions more? You're all good. Everybody wants pizza, I guess. Thank you very much, guys.
All right. So I'm going to be quick on the feedback. Also, if anyone has any other feedback, feel free. Okay. So before going to the details, I'm going to say, yeah, that you started really bad. You started like shit. I was afraid. It's like, okay, I don't think you're going to finish this presentation to be to be sincere, because it was like the technology was not prepared, like anything was prepared. I know I was part of the process because we were deploying very last minute too, and why am I starting with the like saying this that I'm seeing like some surprise faces, is like because the at the end, like you came back and it was like a very enjoyable presentation. One of the better presentations I've seen because it became natural later. And that was, I don't know, a great way to deliver what you had to deliver. Plus, it was a cherry on top on what we focused at the beginning, being like an application that was deployed and it's deployed, and that's it. Congratulations. I think that you deserve the pizza. But then first we're going to talk about some specific things. Yeah. But first of all, I want to say that congratulations, because even
No
though this
pizza for remote.
sorry,
No pizza for
yeah.
remote.
Order some,
Yeah,
and
you can send us a global. I can send you my address and you can send us a global.
I'm going to run it through GPT, and maybe there's an hallucination there. So, okay, so yeah, order some, and then send us pictures. Cool. So first of all, I'm going to start with Albert because I missed you the entire presentation. Yes, but you only started, right? So, but then later, like what I was saying is like, when it's the time to be natural, it's when I miss you. Yeah. So it's like, but the questions, for example, there were like open questions and all this kind of stuff. So it's not about the presentation itself. That was the prepared stuff. But I think that I'm just saying I missed you, and that's it. And it can be, you can be naturally part of this, and feel free to speak up and everything. Why? Because, and that goes for everybody as for the organization of the presentation. Like, first of all, congratulations for being that brave to be the first one to talk. Yeah, knowing that you're even like you get nervous with the presentations plus the English and everything. So very brave on that.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Congratulations on that sense. But just like that, I think that you, like, everybody has to understand and leverage the good things that we have in the team and every member in the team. And I think that you work a lot way better naturally instead of scripted, for example. And at the beginning, it was a very scripted start. And if you want to engage the audience, go better. I'm sorry for saying that because I hate, like, and somebody, some people here knows that I had like many problems with that sense about the English, and if you have to improve and everything. But that doesn't mean that you have to be conscious. And then if you want to engage with a story, then start with the one that has like a more, not better English, but a little bit more of fluency. Yes. So and then later you can be the one that comes naturally. Again, very brave, and congratulations for being the first. But then at the beginning, I have to be completely honest. It's like you don't connect that much. Yeah, and that goes, like, I'm looking now at Albert, but actually that goes for everybody. Yeah, the planning is very important, and in here you have to engage, you have to hook like everybody, and then later we go for the rest. The technology, yeah, PTX, but then nobody in the team has PowerPoint. So and that for later. Also, go full screen on the presentation. Yeah, that I was noticeable that you were nervous. It's like everything was. That's why I said you started like shit. No, because then later I said the good things, but because everything was slipping through. Everything was like, it was melting cheese like running through your heads. It's like, it was very funny to see. Well, it was scary at first, but then now afterwards it's funny because you did a good job. Very good handling of the long loads. That was amazing. I saw people panicking here. I saw Georgia's face on the screen. I saw, I felt Albert by my side, like even saying things like, what the fuck? No, dude. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
Please load, please
Yeah.
load, please load.
And you were making jokes. Like, so very good. That's what I was saying. Very good handle of that, because that's amazing. Because if not, I was, it's easy to be shitting your pants, to be shitting your pants. Oh, her, you have there, you have a load. So it's like, plus also the machine was like suffering in there. I saw it suffering. So even in the long load on getting on the 0 longitude latitude, yeah, and then loading, it was also a good comment on there. So good handling on that, although the challenges, because these are something that is not noticeable. Plus I added in here like a recording of the screen that also is taking processing, plus the zoom, plus the sharing screen and everything. Then the demo, super nice. Yeah, it was an app that you can actually play with. Now you ask the people here, they even like felt connected. Yeah, Craig felt connected with that personally. That's a very good point, and I don't have to be from Montreal to understand that connection when they said it, and that's very cool. That connects everybody. Yeah, so I think that's a nice touch. It's also the app is telling you that is telling you that the app is cool. Yeah, so very good job. And I felt very connected on the insights. Like the insights were very well chosen, and I really enjoyed them. Even I even want to do like kind of a retrospective later to see how we can improve, although like this project is over, no, as in the process of doing it, but just to learn a little bit more. And also there were like some real problems that we had, and I'm glad that you want to highlight them as something that you learn, no, or that you suffered, because that means that we're on the same page, and that's very cool. I'm part of the team. That's why I usually don't have like those many questions, right? But rather I want to contribute on the answers. Yeah, also love the lessons learned, like both the insights and the lessons learned were very good. Yeah, and then yes, first, thank you, closure, and then questions. Yeah, it's always the same. It's like, okay, that was our app. Thank you for your attention. And there's going to be an applause. There's going to be an applause. Okay, then even if not, yeah, it's like, okay, so we're open for questions. Any question? That was very good. Yeah, but in this order. And then I left the, even if it was connected to the first thing, I have one note here. This next page, please. Yeah, and there was like an interaction here that it was because of some problems, right? It was like Georgia was presenting, and then you were saying next page, please. I think it was Victor or Eva. And then Georgia said, "I'm sorry." Yeah, and you were like, "Oh, you felt bad because of that." Well, I want to tell you one story, because in there, I got like, "You said next page, please," and then I was transported literally to an all hands meeting in Typeform. Yeah, and me, an engineering manager, talking to 400 people about the increment of and the new technology that we implemented. That actually was a Navy testing thing. In front of 400 people, and having to tell the IT, the responsible of IT, next page, please. Yeah, everybody was saying next page, please. Like because the presentation like was handled by only one person, and the other were like giving comments in order to go for the next slide, previous slide, and everything. Yeah. Why I want to say this is because you were saying sorry, but actually, even in the big, great companies, yeah, they are doing the same things. Maybe it's more prepared, but it's part of the deal. Yeah. So don't feel that bad about the solutions that you take. Yeah, just own the stage. You did a great job, and actually, you don't have to teach you that much because you took it naturally later, and then you started like own it. Why? Because you felt, and that's what I say, like sometimes otherwise on other batches, and you know well, Albert, Georgia, for example, it was noticeable. You felt proud about your product. You felt really proud about what you did in here, and I'm very happy to see that, because I'm feeling proud of my product, and I'm feeling proud of my team. Yeah, so congratulations and thank you very much, because that was really enjoyable. Congratulations, and that was really great.
Thanks,
So
Kai.
that's it, pizzas. Congratulations, everybody. So for tomorrow, Herba and Victor, I think that you deserved a good break for this weekend. Just have some rest. And on Monday, we start with the hiring things. All right. That's it. Congratulations, everybody. Bye-bye.